Well, hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Correspondences for Tuesday, the 10th of August, 2021. Well, I keep forgetting to show you guys what moonwort looks like when it's dried. It's still, I think, either it's going to stay, no, this is dried, I guess it's going to stay green. But usually, they look like moons, with little seeds, and then this doesn't have any seeds in them. That's weird, but most of them do, and you can pull one off and you can sew it to a dream pillow or something like that. Um, it's just cool. You can use them as flower arrangements, but they can be used magically. So, but that's what I keep telling you about them, and I mentioned it yesterday, and I meant to bring this in here and I didn't. So that's what moonwort looks like, and it's perennial. It reseeds itself, basically, I think. I don't know if it's perennial by root, but I think it probably reseeds itself. Mine came back this year, and so I'm hoping they will again. If not, I'll probably, grab some seeds out of this and replant them. But I just think they're cool. I've got a whole bag of this stuff, so I really don't need any more, but it's just a neat, and it'll probably come back up. So anyway, it's very cool. But I wanted to show you that because I keep saying that I'm going to do that and then I don't. So I'm so sorry about that. Well, today Mars governs magic. Favorability is very good. And what I want you to do today, I have linked here in the body, in the text of this, and probably what I'll do is I'll probably put that same link under the video if you don't end up over on the Patreon page or on the blog or whatever to see this in the forecast. Then I also link to it. I post a version of it over on excuse me, Medium. Excuse me. And I have a link to it. So the video version's available here, and so I link to it. but if you don't see it, then you won't see the link. And what this is it takes you to a website where you can enter the city where you live to give the correct hours of the day for whatever planet you want to work with. And the planets are going to appear they're going to give you a morning hour, morning hours and the nighttime hours, and you're going to see them. They're going to appear like, I don't know, 4 times or so, maybe, throughout the whole 24-hour period. And then if you go to the time section, you can decide, when you want to actually work the spell. But if you can craft a spell or ritual that controls self-expression on a Tuesday. Boy, I'm really losing my voice here. I was outside yesterday doing some pruning in the garden, and I don't know, I guess I was around some mold or something, and so now my throat's all messed up. But anyway, given that it's Mars, craft a ritual again or spell that controls self-expression. Remember, lodestone is one of the crystals or stones you can use. It helps to ground you, so that might be important to do. Let's see, amethyst and jasper are recommended. If you're growing any cayenne or Thai pepper or something that looks akin to that, not necessarily bell pepper, I don't think. My paprika peppers kind of look like bell peppers, but smaller. Well, not really. Yeah, but yeah, they're smaller. But I don't know, they're different. But the cayenne, the shape of the cayenne and the Thai, and there's different types of cayenne you can grow. Use one of those or a couple of them on the altar for increase awareness, and some garlic cloves for self-empowerment. I'll put that on there. You're going to want to, and given that it's garlic, you can invoke Hecate's assistance on this, because she corresponds with garlic, also dandelion, various ones. You could burn dragon's blood resin in whatever form you have it, either on a piece of ritual charcoal in the cauldron, just the resin itself. And I think we talked about this one day. No, that's it. Oh, here it is. See, they look kind of the same in the dark, but this is Hyjon root, and this is dragon's blood. And so what I just like to do, I mean, you can buy it in cone or stick form, but I like to just take a chunk and just sort of take a knife and scrape some off into the cauldron and let it burn on the little charcoal. And the charcoal, of course, what we're talking about there is ritual charcoal that looks like this. Let me see if I can find it. Well, everything is falling over here. Am I even getting to it? Yep, I am. Okay. I got this at Amazon. Big, huge box of it. And I use tongs when I light them. I hold them up in a pair of tongs, and I just start, lighting the edge. I usually use, one of these or something, and I'll light the edge. And once you get the edge going, and that's why you got to use tongs, so light your fingers on fire. But this has got stuff in it that makes it burn, and it's going to sparkle and all that. But anyway, you can then drop, any resins or you can drop herbs or whatever on it. And then there you have it. I have a big mess behind me. It all fell over. Well, anyway, that's just part and parcel with my room. Everything's just sort of stacked everywhere in here, and hopefully I can find stuff. But anyway, that's one thing you can do with that. And then just focus on your on crafting your ritual for self-expression. Either include a chant or not. I tend to, if I do chants, I'm going to do like commands, and so I might have a 3 or 4 word command. I'll either do it in English or I'll do it in Latin, whichever. And if it's something I've already done, I'll just go and grab it out of the grimoire or something and use that. I have different Latin phrases in there and different words that I can use. But I'm not really about the flowery spells. I'm not really about the big long rituals. I don't really care. I think that, you get everything all focused and into one little ball of energy, and then you let it go, right? And I don't think you need to have that other stuff to do that with. I think it's sort of, you can use it to build that momentum, though. If you want to do it that way, you can, and you can make it so that it will build your momentum, and then the final, expression of it, expressing it out into form, casting the intention, happens after you do the building. But I can do that in my head and in my mind, and yeah, I don't need to actually do that. Although, I mean, it's cool, certainly. But you do whatever you want to do, whatever you think is right for you, and just know that when you craft your chant, though, you want to make it such that it builds energy to the final, casting of the intention. So just know that. I just like to use really powerful words to do it, and like one or two word commands, like exite to get away, that would be one, or tace to stop, or to be quiet, or whatever. Just something that invokes the entire meaning into one word. I like to bring it all down into one little moment of magic, if you will. So that's just me, though. You don't have to do it that way. A lot of Wiccans, they have these beautiful rituals and beautiful spells that they cast, and it's done in such an incredible way. So if that's what you're interested in, then do that. You can find all kinds of books out there and grimoires that have stuff like in it to give you an example of what you can do for yourself, or to just use that. So just, look around and see what you want to do. But, especially if you're still trying to find your way in all of this. For me, I don't, my focus is on Norse magic, rune magic, divination, so tarot and runes and geomancy and astrology and all of that. I feel the energetic impact of life. And so I like to work with those types of foundational energies. And so for me, I like to bring everything down either into a bind rune or something like that is this little thing of focused energy that then expands. It's like ingus, the rune ingus, the seed, the sudden release of energy. That's what I like to do. But beyond that, so basically that means I'm solitary. I don't belong to a coven or anything like that. I just don't feel. Here's the thing about covens. Here's the thing about structured witchcraft. It tends to follow a hierarchy the way religion does, and I'm bothered by that. I know that there's a group of witches like to call themselves eclectic witches or radical witches or what have you. And I think that those are the folks that don't want to ascribe to that sort of structure or hierarchy. I don't think that, at least I've read that about them. I tend to not assign myself to really any category other than the type of magic I work. And so, if that's how you feel, then, it's a solitary path, You have to form all this for yourself and decide for yourself what seems to work for you. And so that's what I like to do. But if you're somebody that belongs to a coven and you have a tradition you follow, then do it. That's what you've grown up in, irrespective of when that started, whether as a child or as an adult, you grew up in it. And these kinds of coven traditions are really incredible. So if that's your thing, great. I'm never going to ever say anything bad about it, because there's nothing bad to say. It's really just a matter of where you find your comfort level and what your choices are and what you want to do, which is why I offer this, on my blog over at Stepping Aside, and I in the big huge form, and then in pieces everywhere else. Just sort of bring people's focus to maybe things they want to look at, maybe leave the rest of it for another day. But the point is that you find a way to express yourself as a witch, and it really has to be what you're comfortable with, not what some other person tells you needs to happen, because you define it. You define it from beginning to end, and that's the truth. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk again tomorrow, and be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.